December 13th, 2008, Chicago O'Hare International Airport. A 58-year-old man approaches the American Airlines first-class check-in counter. His name is Steve Rothstein. He is an investment banker. He is flying to London. He does not carry luggage. He does not check in early. He walks with the relaxed, unbothered pace of a man who practically lives inside this airport. He hands his boarding pass to the agent. The agent scans it. The system does not print a ticket. The screen flashes red. The agent looks confused. She types his name again. Red. Before she can apologize, a man in a dark suit steps out from a back office. He is not a gate agent. He is a senior executive from American Airlines Corporate Security. He is flanked by 2 police officers. He walks up to Steve Rothstein. He does not smile. He hands him a single piece of paper. Mr. Rothstein, your AirPass has been terminated, effective immediately. On what grounds? Fraudulent usage. You are no longer welcome on American Airlines. Rothstein stands at the counter. He does not yell. He does not panic. He just stares at the letter. In the last 21 years, he has flown American Airlines over 10,000 times. He has logged 10 million miles. He has flown to England 500 times. He has flown to Tokyo 120 times. He knows the flight attendants by their first names. He knows the pilots. He has cost the airline $21 million. And he didn't break a single rule. This is the story of the worst mathematical miscalculation in the history of commercial aviation. How one desperate corporation offered an unlimited lifetime product, assuming no human being could ever exploit it, and how a handful of ordinary men read the fine print, weaponized a legal contract, and forced a multi-billion-dollar airline to hire private investigators to stop them. To understand how Steve Rothstein walked into an airport and legally stole $21 million in free flights, you have to understand the panic inside American Airlines in the summer of 1981. 1981 is a disaster year for the aviation industry. 3 years earlier, the United States government passed the Airline Deregulation Act. For decades, the government controlled ticket prices and routes. Airlines operated like polite regional monopolies. Suddenly, the market is a free-for-all. Fares collapse. Cutthroat competition begins. Then comes the recession. Interest rates in the United States hit 20%. Fuel prices skyrocket. American Airlines is bleeding cash. They are taking delivery of a new fleet of Boeing aircraft, and they cannot afford to pay for them. They need capital. Massive, immediate, liquid capital. But with interest rates at 20%, borrowing money from a bank is financial suicide. The executives at American Airlines sit in a boardroom in Fort Worth, Texas. They need a loan that they never have to pay back. An actuary raises his hand. What if we sell a lifetime pass? The concept is simple. The AAirpass. An unlimited lifetime first-class ticket to anywhere American Airlines flies. For the rest of your life. The price tag, $250,000. For an additional $150,000, you can buy a companion pass. This allows you to bring anyone with you on any flight at any time for free. Total cost, $400,000. In 1981, $400,000 is the equivalent of $1.4 million today. It is an astronomical sum. The executives run the numbers. They look at human biology. They look at corporate travel habits. The math, they assume, is bulletproof. They calculate that a corporate executive might fly 10 or 15 times a month. They calculate that business travel takes a physical toll. People get tired. People retire. People get sick. No human being can physically fly enough to consume $250,000 worth of first-class inventory. And more importantly, a first-class seat is a perishable asset. If the plane takes off and the seat is empty, the airline makes $0. Filling it with an AirPass holder costs the airline practically nothing. Just a few extra gallons of jet fuel and a microwave meal. It's brilliant. It's free money. They roll out the program. They sell it to celebrities, politicians, and billionaires. Mark Cuban buys one. Willie Nelson buys one. But among the buyers are a few ordinary men who are not famous. They are not buying a status symbol. They are buying an arbitrage opportunity. One of them is Steve Rothstein, a financier from Chicago. Another is Jacques Vroom, a catalog consultant from Dallas. It does not say subject to holiday blackout dates. It says unlimited, period. They don't see a plane ticket. They see a teleportation device. And they realize something the actuaries in Fort Worth completely missed. When you remove the friction of price, the way a human being views the world fundamentally shifts. 1987. Steve Rothstein signs the contract. He pays $400,000 for the AirPass and the companion pass. For the first few months, he uses it for business. Chicago to New York, Chicago to Los Angeles. It saves him money, it's convenient. But then the psychology of the pass takes over. It's a Saturday morning in Chicago. It's raining. Rothstein is bored. He walks to O'Hare Airport. He walks to the American Airlines counter. "I'd like a first-class ticket to London, please." "When?" "The next flight." He flies to London. He lands, has a sandwich and a cup of tea, turns around, and flies back to Chicago on the very next plane. Total cost to Rothstein, $0. Total retail value of the tickets, $12,000. A month later, he wants to read a book, but he wants absolute quiet. He books a first-class ticket to Tokyo. He reads his book over the Pacific Ocean, lands in Japan, doesn't even leave the airport, and flies back. He goes to Providence, Rhode Island just to buy a specific type of sandwich. He goes to Paris to buy a single piece of art. He begins booking multiple flights on the same day, just to have options. If he isn't sure whether he wants to spend the weekend in Miami or San Francisco, he books a first-class seat on both flights. He shows up to the airport, looks at the departure board and decides in the moment. The flight he doesn't take leaves with an empty first-class seat. But the real bleeding starts when Rothstein and Vroom discover the true power of the companion pass. For $150,000, they bought the right to put any human being in the seat next to them. Jacques Vroom, the Dallas consultant, realizes he can outsource his parenting to American Airlines. His son is in college on the East Coast. Vroom books a first-class flight to visit him, then books the seat next to him to bring his son back home to Dallas to do his laundry, then flies him back to school on Sunday. Steve Rothstein uses the companion pass like a superhero cape. He walks through airport terminals looking for people who are stranded. He finds a mother crying at the gate because her flight is canceled and she's going to miss a funeral. Rothstein walks up to the counter. "Book this woman into the first-class seat next to me. I'm taking her to New York." He flies a friend to the Louvre in Paris just to look at a painting. He flies a priest to Rome to see the Pope. He gives away thousands of first-class tickets to total strangers. The contract allows it. The airline has to honor it. And then, the ultimate mathematical insult occurs. In the late 1980s, American Airlines introduces the AAdvantage frequent flyer program. You earn miles every time you fly. Rothstein and Vroom realize something absurd. Their AirPass flights are technically paid revenue tickets. Every time they fly for free, they are earning frequent flyer miles. Rothstein is flying 10 million miles. He is earning 10 million frequent flyer miles on top of his unlimited pass. He takes these miles and uses them to buy normal plane tickets for his family, his friends, his colleagues. He is running a shadow travel agency out of his living room, completely subsidized by American Airlines. To guarantee privacy on his flights, Jacques Vroom starts booking his companion pass under the name Bag Vroom. He straps a briefcase into the $8,000 first-class seat next to him just so he doesn't have to talk to anyone. The executives in Fort Worth watch the telemetry coming out of these accounts. They calculate the retail value of the flights Rothstein and Vroom are taking. Rothstein is costing them over $1 million a year. Vroom is costing them over $1 million a year. Across 20 years, Rothstein's flights are valued at $21 million. The airline realizes the terrible truth. The actuaries were wrong. The human body does not get tired when it is fed caviar, poured endless champagne, and given a flatbed seat in the sky. If you give a man an unlimited resource, he will scale his consumption to match it. They want to cancel the passes, but they can't. The contract is a legally binding document. There is no fair use clause, there is no cancellation clause. As long as the men are breathing, they own the sky. Isaac, fast forward to 2007. The global financial system collapses, the Great Recession hits. Airlines are going bankrupt. American Airlines is hemorrhaging cash, they are desperate. They are cutting pensions, they are laying off staff, they are charging for checked bags. Inside corporate headquarters, a specialized unit is formed, the Revenue Integrity Department. Their mandate: stop the bleeding, find the leaks, plug them by any means necessary. The head of Revenue Integrity pulls the files on the AAirpass program. Specifically, he targets the highest utilizers, Steve Rothstein and Jacques Vroom. The airline cannot cancel the passes for overuse, but they can cancel the passes for fraud. The contract states that the pass cannot be used for commercial purposes. You cannot sell your companion seat. You cannot abuse the booking system to the detriment of the airline's inventory. The Revenue Integrity team declares war. They assemble a dossier on both men. They deploy corporate investigators. They hire private detectives. They start tracking Rothstein's bookings. They analyze his habit of booking multiple simultaneous flights and canceling at the last minute. They argue that this is speculative booking, tying up inventory that the airline could have sold to paying customers. They document every time he books a flight under a fake name. For Jacques Vroom, they go further. They set up sting operations. Private investigators follow Vroom through the airport in Dallas. They take photographs of the people flying in his companion seat. They wait at the arrivals gate. When Vroom's companions step off the plane, the investigators ambush them. They pull them into private rooms. They interrogate them. Did you pay Jacques Vroom for that seat? Did he ask you for money? Vroom maintains he never sold a seat. He argues he gave them away or had business associates reimburse him for legitimate consulting expenses, which is entirely legal. But the airline doesn't need a criminal conviction. They just need a plausible excuse to void the contract. December 13th, 2008. Steve Rothstein is standing at the counter at Chicago O'Hare. He has just been handed the letter. Your pass is terminated. He walks out of the airport. He does not fly to London. His lifetime of free travel ends in an instant. A few months earlier, Jacques Vroom was ambushed in a similar manner at Heathrow Airport in London. A security agent handed him a letter. His pass was revoked. He was stranded in Europe. Both men sue American Airlines. They hire elite attorneys. They argue breach of contract. They argue that the airline knew exactly what it was selling in 1981, gladly took their money, and changed the rules only when the math turned against them. The lawsuits drag on for years. The legal battles are brutal. American Airlines fights back with the weight of a multi-billion-dollar legal department. They file counterclaims. They leak stories to the press, framing Rothstein and Vroom not as clever consumers, but as greedy abusers who forced the airline into bankruptcy. In the end, the American legal system sides with the corporation. In 2011, a federal judge rules against Rothstein. The judge determines that Rothstein's habit of booking speculative flights and companion seats under fake names constituted a material breach of the original contract. Because he booked seats he never intended to fly in, he defrauded the airline of potential revenue. Rothstein's case is dismissed. Vroom's case meets a similar fate. The golden ticket is dead. Music. Today, if you look at the terms and conditions of any frequent flyer program, any credit card reward system, or any airline loyalty status, you will find documents that are hundreds of pages long. You will find fair use clauses. You will find speculative booking bans. You will find the right of the airline to terminate your account at any time, for any reason without warning. Those rules exist because of Steve Rothstein and Jacques Vroom. They did not hack a computer. They did not bribe an official. They did not steal a dime. They simply read the contract a desperate corporation wrote, took them at their word, and applied the cold, relentless logic of human consumption. They prove that no system is infallible, especially when it assumes that human behavior has a limit. American Airlines gambled on the limits of human endurance. Steve Rothstein gambled on the limits of a piece of paper. For 21 years, the paper won.